Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Talkin Kop. My name is Kev, joined tonight by Dylan. And we're going to talk through Liverpool versus PSV, what's to come tomorrow night. Evening, Dylan. How are you getting on, mate?
Not too bad, you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my second therapy session with Gav last night on Patreon. Where for our sins we watched through the highlights of the weekend's dread, goal fest and all the shite that we had to go through and then watch it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a really good show. It should be available on Spotify if you're not on Patreon. So go and have a look at listen to it. We had a really good talk actually about a lot of the stuff coming in and around the Forest game and stuff to come out of it. But look, tomorrow night we go again.
Sins.
And no doubt, look, for all of the doom and gloom and the bitch in the morning, we'll all be watching at 8 o'clock tomorrow night to see if this is the one they can turn it around in. And look, the thing is, it's PSV, Champions League. We're 3 wins from 4. Last game was a win against Real Madrid. And it was a good win. It's the third win against Real Madrid. And it looks like you look at the scores from tonight's games, like the Man City game especially. The lineup that he put out, he made 10 changes. And to me, it looks like Pep Guardiola is looking at this competition similar to last season, going, look, the objective of this group phase is to get in the top 8 if you can, get in the top 24 at all costs. But it's not the be-all and end-all. I mean, Arne Slot at his press conference today, what stuck out from you with his press conference?
The Dutch media don't seem to love him. I don't think since he left. And he made point to note that, to say, if I don't answer your questions, you'll blast me, which I thought was quite funny because you don't get that sort of shit in England. And he sort of, made it out that he wasn't a top coach. And the PSV coach is one that's had one over on him a couple of times when he was at Feyenoord. Mm-hmm. So I think they're trying to cut the legs out from underneath him. But I thought he dealt with it well. For all things going on, I thought he did deal with it well. I'm excited for the game. I don't know if a lot of people are dreading it, but I'm certainly excited for it.
I always am. I always am. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, even when we were really shite and lost 6 on the bounce at home, I was still looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Because it's like a drug, isn't it? The next one's going to be the one.
That'll be the one.
Yeah, the next one's going to be the one we're going to turn that corner. And it's like, look, I watched the press conference when I got home from work. The worrying thing for me was when he talked about Joe Gomez having injections in his knee last week.
Yeah.
I hate hearing that flashback stuff to the 90s when you used to hear a lot of players playing with painkilling injections into their knees, and it's never a good thing. But it's kind of answers a couple of underlying questions from the weekend that, to me, maybe it's a case that, look, he's available for a length of time rather than back-to-back games kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's a case of pick and choose when you use them, how you use them. And look, it's a problem of their own making. It is what it is. You went into the season with 4 centre-backs knowing that one of them is a walking packet of fucking Jacob's crackers.
Yeah.
So that part of it is on them. The unfortunate part is losing Leone for the season.
Absolutely.
But we are where we are today. How would you deal with this, knowing what you know now, coupled with the frailties of what's in front of the back four and Ibrahima Konate's obvious problems?
Yeah. I'd love to turn around and say Joe Gomez is a viable option. And probably up until today's press conference, I was probably beating that drum the loudest. But Slot mentioning injections into knees just to get training, that tells you everything you need to know. Joe Gomez is no longer a viable option for Liverpool, whether that be to start games or just to be the person to come on with the last few minutes. That's probably where his limitations find him. I love Joe Gomez for what it's worth. I would give anything for him to score a goal for Liverpool, just to say he has one.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh
God.
but I do think his days are numbered. I really think his days are numbered. The last two summer transfer windows, he's looked to get out of Liverpool, and it just hasn't materialised. And I think, as bad as it sounds, he's probably put his career on hold for Liverpool, and it's really come back to bite him now. His body was always sort of feeble and let him down, and it's really starting to do it now. I would have loved to see him go in the summer and make a right claim to get into that World Cup squad, because if anyone deserves it, it's probably Joe Gomez, for as promising his career was to fall off due to injuries. Similar to Sturridge.
Yeah, I mean, look, the worst of it is a lot of the injuries aren't his fault. You know, a lot of the injuries were caused as a knock-on to a serious one. And it is unfortunate, but look, it kind of really has to focus the mind now that Joe Gomez probably is only an option off the bench. So if that being the case, your other two centre-backs have to stand up. You know, and it's one thing. Andy Robertson did an interview with Sky Sports, and it was a sit-down. You know, that one that kind of set it up inside of a cinema type of thing?
Yeah.
That kind of an interview where he sat down with the interviewer. And it was after, I don't know when this happened, but I think it might have happened. It was after the Forest game, so it might have happened yesterday. But the vibes I got off of it was players taking accountability and responsibility for what happens on the pitch, first and foremost. Understanding the fans' frustration, but also saying, look, stick with us. We've been there before. We will work through it. But ultimately, this all boils down to, for me anyway, Arne Slot has to trust the squad. And he's got to utilise the squad, I think. But the two centre-backs that we have fit and available are going to have to do the shoulder the responsibility of an awful lot now.
Yeah.
I picked the lineup last night before the press conference when we were on Patreon, and I had Joe Gomez starting centre-back next to Virgil, right?
So would I would have as well.
Yeah. We'll come to lineups later on, but safe to say that's not
out the window.
Yeah, that's gone out the window. But the side we're playing, PSV, you've done a bit of watching of them. What are your initial thoughts of what they're bringing to the table?
Look, domestically, they seem to probably be the best of the bunch. In Holland, they're flying, scoring an awful lot of goals. European, hot and cold, 4 games, 1 win, 1 loss, 2 draws. Big one against Napoli, which is noted. I think both of us watched the highlights of that today.
Yeah.
What is to note for them? They move the ball so quickly, and particularly when they get you in those final thirds. I spoke to you earlier, and I mentioned Dennis Mann off them, the Romanian, who just looks electric. He looks fantastic.
I didn't realize he's 27.
27, yeah.
He's 27.
He had a bit of a career in the Serie A as well earlier on.
He went from Steaua Bucharest to Parma. And then this season, he moved to PSV. And he's just a real dribbler. You know, he's left-footed, plays on the right, loves to take players on, and gets his shot off with his left foot. Scored a beauty against Napoli. I think he scored 2 in that game. But one of them was an absolute belter. And it was a Salah-esque.
Yeah.
No, saying that, it was awful keeping. The keeper was shocking for it.
Yeah.
But he's very good. That Napoli game, though, the one thing for me that stuck out is how poor they are at corners.
Yeah.
They can be got at from set pieces. They can be got at from crosses into the box.
Yeah.
But if when you turn the ball over, when you lose it, they're very quick on the break.
Yeah.
They're playing a guy up front, and he's not a striker. He's a midfielder. His name is Till, T-I-L-L.
Yeah.
Now, he is a midfielder. He's converted up to a striker. He's not prolific. He's not a goal scorer, but he's a very good footballer.
Yeah.
He's a very good footballer, and he brings everyone else into play. But you're right. The way they move the ball up the pitch, and it's the kind of football I think that for us is good. It's very similar to Villa, very similar to Madrid.
Yeah.
they're not going to be lumping it forward up to Till,
No,
trying to get flick-ons and trying to get runners in behind them. That's not their game. They don't
no.
play like that. They will play out from the back. But, I mean, they lost their first game against Union Saint-Gilloise 3-1. They really should have won it.
Yeah, they definitely should have.
Really should have won it, and they had enough chances in that game to win it. They've scored something like 41 goals with an XG of 27.9 this season.
Yeah, 3 players on double-digit goals and assists already, which is quite a good stat.
Yeah, what are you thinking? I mean, look, we know our confidence is at an all-time low. So look, what are you thinking? Tomorrow night, they're going to turn up. They're going to have a go because they don't know how to play any other way.
Yeah. Look, traditionally Liverpool have a good record against Dutch teams. I know 6 games against PSV in the last 25 years, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Are we our lowest probably in a long time when we're facing them? I think we should have enough. I think set pieces will be absolutely huge. One thing I don't want to see is Salah or Robertson stood over a free kick or a corner, because I think every set piece should be falling to Dom Szoboszlai at the moment, because he delivers a fantastic ball, and we should be using the height that we do have in Gravenberch, Konate, Virgil, Isaac, Ekitike to really punish them over set pieces. As you said, against Napoli, they were at 6s and 7s. They'd remind you of how we were a good few years ago under even Brendan Rodgers from set pieces, where the ball was going to play and you were nearly counting as a goal.
Oh yeah, fuck me, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was I mean, Arch makes the points here. I did cop this when Slot mentioned it. He was talking about the Villa and Madrid games. That you may have to concede possession as we defend better in those games, and we seem to be more focused on defending. That might be what PSV will bring out of us. The fact that they have to be alert, they have to be awake and alive to the constant threats coming from them from both wings and through the middle. They've got Veerman in the middle of the park is a dictator. I think he's Belgian, but he's a really good he's like Till. Him and Till before used to be a centre midfield pairing. One would play in the 10, one would play in the 8. But Veerman plays incisive passes into the channels, looking for runners, looking for late runners into the box, and he's really good at doing it.
Yeah.
So is it a case tomorrow night, do you think we press them, because they will play out from the back?
Of course.
We look to press them in to try to win the ball back high up. But if we don't, we're back into a shape.
100%.
And then look to go from there.
Yeah. I think that once they beat that press, and it will happen, they will beat our press, because it's not as impenetrable as it might have been in years gone by. I think it's 11 men behind the ball. So as soon as they bypass our centre forwards or our first line of the press, everybody gets back. That's Gakpo, Salah, everybody. And it's just getting into defensive positions. Look, we know Salah gets off the hook when it comes to defending, but I would love to see him just get back and just be a body between the man and the goal. So
what is it at the minute with everybody today at airports?
Yeah,
Ashley's at Logan Airport heading out for Thanksgiving with her family. Gav is over in Liverpool at the minute, and the two of us sat here minding the shop on a Tuesday night.
Gav sending photos of sat in pubs and pies he's eating and everything, and we're sat here freezing cold.
Yeah, and I mean, look, like you said earlier, we are looking forward to this. I am anyway, because I think this is the kind of opponent in Europe that I think it'll focus the mind. I think they will give up chances. Even in the league, they concede something like an average of 1.3 goals per game. So if they're conceding that level of chance in the Eredivisie, we will get chances in this game. 2 draws they've had so far in the Champions League, both been 1-1s. Could have gone either way. You could be talking realistically about them being unbeaten so far. They legitimately could have won every game that they've been in, but like every side seems so far in the Champions League, everyone is fallible. Everyone is looking at this at the minute as a league fit, as opposed to last season where every game was big, huge, massive, have to win every game because you have to get into the last eight because it's going to matter.
Yeah.
We didn't even understand how the fucking draw was going to work up
Yeah.
until the day it happened. You know
Until
what I mean?
PSV
That's how
landed on our
confusing.
lap, yeah.
Yeah, that's how confusing it was. And I think this season, every side is looking for win the game if you can, don't lose it. But all in all, it's about getting into the top 24 and deal with what the cards where they fall
100%.
comes in. It's like, do you think it's possible Liverpool look at this tomorrow night, make changes, and some you could think of, okay, yeah, I can see the logic in that, but have one eye on keeping the squad ticking, or would you say to the 11 that went out against Forest, say, look, you got us into this fucking mess, get us out of it?
I can see a couple of changes, and I think Slot probably would have looked at this game and said, I'd love to make a couple of changes here and bring along a couple of the young lads, maybe seeing Neoni come in or even a Rio come in. But I just think needs must at the moment, and a win is hugely needed. And I think if we were playing Tranmere Rovers this week, you might see Virgil and Salah making an appearance just to get 3 points or a win on the board, I should say. I'd love to see rotation. I'd love to be in the position where you can make that happen, but I don't think we have that luxury at the moment. I don't think you keep sending out the same 11, particularly if they're getting their ass beat every week.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably going to be forced into changes. Now, where you make them changes is the issue.
That's it. I
mean,
mean,
he keeps harping on about only having 5 senior defenders at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, look, and it is just a fact. That's what we have. But I mean, last season we went to PSV, played them over there, and we did make a raft of changes. I mean, Endo started, Nalo came on and then left because he just
didn't fancy it.
He just doesn't like hanging about, He got his appearance fee.
He's in and out, isn't he?
He's in and out, that fella. Chiesa started, Harvey Elliott played, but Kwanzaa played. It was a real end of league phase. We know we're guaranteed in the top 8.
Yeah.
And we went and treated it that way. But one thing, I said it to you before we come on, one thing that really stuck in my craw last season. Look, it was a good first half. It was 2-2 at halftime, and it was a good game. I remember watching it. It was a good watch. It was an entertaining game. And it was one of those games that I was watching thinking, look, I know we have nothing at stake here.
Yeah.
No matter, there's nothing that can happen in this game that's going to affect us in any way, shape, or form. So I was chilled watching it. Right up until the point when Nala got sent off, and they got a lucky third goal, and it was a pure fluke of a third goal. That it went through legs, it took a massive deflection, and it took a late deflection that took Kelleher out of it. And they went 3-2 up, and then they started taking the piss. We were down to 10 men, and we weren't really chasing the game, but Bakayoko decided to bring out all the party tricks and rip the piss out of young kids. And it was the young kids at that stage because and he brought on young kids. And that really stuck in my craw for me. Don't know about you, because that's the abiding memory I have of that game.
Yeah, I agree. I remember thinking, because at the end of the day, that match didn't matter.
Yeah.
I think we all knew it didn't matter. And look, you always want to keep winning. But just keep the ball. If that's what you're going to do, just keep the ball. He's doing tricks. He's doing keepy up. He's trying to nutmeg people. He's just doing everything silly. You see it in basketball. When the game's dead, they just see the game out. They use their head. There's no need to go out and do that to kids. He was a kid once. I'm sure he got hazed when he first came into the squads. So, yeah, for me, I agree with you. I thought that was probably the most unprofessional part of the whole thing. Yeah. And PSV is a club that you sort of have admiration for. When you look on, you like Ajax, you like PSV, you like Feyenoord. Then Dutch teams always, played good football, a bit about them in Europe. You always have that. But then when you see that, you see that, you're thinking, come on, have a bit of class about you,
Yeah. It stuck in my head, that one. And I remember coming on the post-match after, and we were like, relaxed about the result. We, had a bit of a laugh at Nalo,
Of course.
Not at him, but it was unfortunate because it wasn't the one where he went to kick the ball and he got the wrong ball. It was one where he literally just got his legs tangled in the guy not long after coming on. And it was a red card. It was a red card. But, it was just one of those games that without that at the end, we'd have just talked about it and we'd be like, yeah, look, it's a learning experience for the squad. It got a run out for the players who needed it. Not to be on it all, no big deal.
Yeah.
But for me, I would be, if I'm Arne Slot, I'm playing a lot of those clips of players taking the piss and the frailties that are obvious in this squad, as well as the threats, obviously. But I would be reminding the senior players, remember what they did when you guys weren't there last year.
Yeah.
Go and put it right. Go and put on a performance. Go and turn up. And I suppose, to me, that's all you can hope for tomorrow night is we turn up, win our battles, and play properly. And that's all you can ask of this side at the minute, I think, is turn up, win your battles, play properly.
100%.
And if they do that, I'm going to be happy. Because at the minute, I'm looking for silver linings. Truth be told, I'm just looking for something to be able to hang my hat on for the winter to say, look, there's something there that we can build on. Show me something that we can build on. That's where I am with it now. Don't know about you,
Yeah, absolutely. We've had games in Europe like this where you're coming up against teams outside of the top 5 leagues. Porto always comes to mind, and it's said at the time, Porto are a good side. If this fella, that fella, and I don't know if you remember, we went out and gave them a hiding. I'd love nothing more than to go out tomorrow and just win 3-0. Just go out, be comfortable, keep a clean sheet, go win 3-0, and from 65 minutes on, start making a couple of changes, give the lads a run out, get the ball moving, and bounce into the weekend. And I mean bounce into the weekend with a bit of swagger about you, because I don't think we have that swagger that we've had, particularly in Europe. We've had it over the years as well. You've seen that swagger from us. And I just think you need to get that, start smelling yourself a little bit. Like people are giving out about all these sort of things. I think a 3-0 win sort of calms that down, and that doesn't lift off the pressure, but it takes away a good bit of it, and you can start smelling yourself again. Start remembering that you're the Premier League champions going into games.
Yeah, I just think that at the minute, confidence is an all-time low.
Absolutely.
For a lot of the players in the squad at the minute, they don't handle adversity well at all. They have to figure that out. First and foremost, they have to figure that out, because you will go down. You will go down a goal in games. That's going to happen.
Of course.
A player is going to get sent off. You're going to have to fucking deal with it. This is the nature of football. You have to deal with the shit when it's thrown at you. So this notion that, as much as, and I agree with you, I would love, go out and blitz them for 20 minutes, get a couple of goals, and then control the game. I would love
100%.
that. I would love nothing more than to come on tomorrow night and talk about a boring win.
Yeah.
We're not going to fucking get it. Let's be
no, absolutely not. The 5-4 we'll get out here tomorrow.
Yeah, let's be real. We're all going to be sat there. I'm going to be going a bit grayer tomorrow night. Watching this, I just feel it in my waters, But at the same time, I wouldn't mind seeing a few changes. I don't expect wholesale changes, because I don't think wholesale changes are. I don't think you do any favors for anyone. We see it with the League Cup. We've seen it when any manager, the FA Cup last year, classic.
Yeah.
I don't care who you're playing against. If you're playing against a professional outfit of any level, and you make wholesale changes and you put a side together who don't have a basic clue of what their mate next to them is doing, how can you know what you're doing yourself?
Yeah. You'll be pulled apart. You see it all the time. Years gone by. Not even Liverpool. Not even just Liverpool. You see years gone by, United making wholesale changes against MK Dons and Crew and getting bounced off. So these things happen. So you have to treat every opposition with respect nowadays.
Yeah, there's an interesting conversation going on in the chat. I'm kind of trying to follow it. Seems like there's people with, chatting about the summer and the transfers and, balancing books and all that lovely good stuff. I mean, look, it's a conversation if you want to chat about it.
Fire ahead. I don't know if you listened to the Anfield rap earlier on.
No.
Last night, the video where they sort of hindsight looked back and went through each transfer.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
We kind of did something similar. But go on, you tell me. I mean, look, because I think for me, when you're doing something like that, you have to have it in the context of I don't. I look at the squad, what we sold, what we brought in. At the end of the summer, I was happy.
100%.
All right. I look at it on paper, and I'm sat there and thinking, right, yeah, okay, Isaac, snap your hand up for him. Top, top,
100%.
top, top striker. Ekitike was the one I was not sure on, but okay. I've seen the reason why I was unsure of Ekitike, right? I remember Newcastle going for him, and he turned them down a few years ago, good few years ago, and he went to a club, then went to PSG. It didn't work. Then he went to
Frankfurt.
Germany, to Frankfurt, and then Marmouche went, and then his name is back up there. He's moving again. I kind of get nervous with players like that. Move.
Bounce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, is it an agent thing? Is it an attitude thing? Does he settle in squads? Square peg round holes. What is he? I didn't know. And look, he's had a really good start. I think he's had a barren spell now.
Yeah, of course.
But he's not the only fucking one. Frimpong joins Liverpool. Wasn't a right back. Wasn't anything remotely like the right back that we were losing. But at the same time, joined Liverpool with a really solid injury record. Rarely missed a game. Comes to Liverpool, does his hamstring. Fuck.
Yeah.
Conor Bradley, already there, never really played a full season apart from when he was on loan, which is not really the same kind of intensity as playing 3 games a week. Picks up an injury. Unfortunately, you got both right backs at your club now, injury prone.
Yeah.
Andy Robertson, look, he's got a lot of mileage on his legs, so you bring in a younger player, Kirkes. Milos Kirkes had a really good time at Bournemouth, up and down the wing. Yeah, okay, I was happy enough for that. We're asking him to do something that's completely alien to him. He's never been that left back who builds play up.
No. He's
always been the one to get up the wing and then be the ball to put the cross in or to try to get in on the end of something. But okay, he's young. He's what, 21, 20. He's younger than Bradley.
21.
Yeah, so you're buying him for the long term. You still have Robertson there, so you can use him, get him used to the club, get him playing. Okay. And I'm all right with that. Leone, really highly rated.
Absolutely.
And the little bit that we saw of him, you can see why he was really highly rated.
Look brilliant.
Composed, calm on the ball, likes to tackle, big, quick. And then you wouldn't wish it on anyone, the ACL.
No.
But that was a big outlay that we paid for him. You know what I mean? It was up around the 30, 35 million, something like that, euros. So that wasn't cheap. That was a big outlay on a centre back. We done the deal for Kwanzaa with the buyback and his contract already signed and agreed. So that was the right thing to do because Kwanzaa
100%.
needs to go and develop.
And he's looked good since going.
Yeah. I think they mentioned in the commentary on RTs and on Virgin Media over here, he's played more minutes for Bayer Leverkusen this season than he did in the entirety of last season at Liverpool.
Jeez.
And it's benefited for him massively. Guehi, we shot ourselves in the foot. Should have got that done, didn't. Who am I missing out?
In defence, no. Marmarashvili, of course.
Marmarashvili, we knew was coming because we signed him a year before.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we signed him the year before. Kelleher probably wanted to go the year before and did what Joe Gomez is doing now. Didn't.
Exactly.
But now he's gone on and being a number one at Brentford. Really good. He's having a really good spell. Done great things for Ireland. And we know he's a top keeper, but he needed to go and be a number one.
Yep.
And that was the right move. Then you're talking Florian Wirtz. Now, hindsight is where you're going to look at this because I didn't look at it at the time, and I keep looking at the Bundesliga and look at the Bundesliga and look at the players who've done really well in the Bundesliga, flying well. Kai Havertz, and Nkunku. Two spring to mind. And Nkunku especially was absolutely lethal in the Bundesliga. Scored goals. He was brilliant. Looked absolutely elite. Came to the Premier League and was a total flop. A complete total flop. Kai Havertz at Arsenal, he's looked the part. but he hasn't looked anywhere near remotely the player that Arsenal signed when he came to the Premier League.
He was shot at Chelsea as well. You
Yeah.
forget the Chelsea.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at Florian Wirtz, and look, as much as a technically gifted player as I think he is, and when you see him playing for Germany, you can see it. He was brilliant for Germany during the last international break. I think you have to persevere with him because he's just that technically gifted. He's anyone who's in the game who you listen to talking about him, players, coaches, opposing players who've played against him and played with him, will all say the same thing, unprompted. And there's no benefit for them saying this, that he is top tier. So, and he's young, so you're not buying him for a 3-month spell. You're buying him for the next 3 years. And I keep going back to the players that we sold. So Luis Diaz wanted to go twice.
Mm-hmm.
Darwin Núñez, people couldn't wait to get him out of the club. Trent, we know the story there. You know, all of these players that left wanted to go. And this rebuild that probably would have normally started the year before when a manager comes in has happened 12 months later. And you couple that with everything that's happened in the summer, and look, we've talked about it endlessly.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be I don't want to bring it up, but I honestly think that there's more to do. There's more business for the club to do over the next 2 windows.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know what the Anfield Wrap say. Look, everyone is entitled to their opinions.
100%. 100%.
But, I mean, what do you think? You look at the players now that we've brought in. You look at the squad and you look at how... Because I have it to caveat everything with the fact that look at how he's trying to cope with the injuries within the squad, with the new players.
Yeah.
And the late arrivals, and the fact that they're picking up knocks as well. What can he do?
Yeah, you're right. It's been shit show from shit show to the next shit show to the next shit show, whether it be injuries, late signings, not getting signings over the line, leaving yourself a little bit short. I'm in full agreement with you when you say the rebuild probably should have started 12 months prior, and I think it's probably left us a window behind. I think all things considered, Diaz probably would have went the window before, and then you can start that rebuild. I came on shows at the end of the transfer window and said that I thought we were an attacker short, and I think that shows when you're bringing Rio on and saying to Rio, get out there and do something. And when you're bringing Chiesa on, like I don't know what position Chiesa's been brought on in any of the games he's been brought on. He just get up there and do something is what it looks like. Whereas I think you need an attacker who say you go out and say you're a winger, you're a centre forward, you're a whatever it may be, and when you're bringing them on, you know that's where they're going. In terms of signings, I'm with you. I loved Kerkez. I thought he would be brilliant. I thought he was the best left back in the league last year, and I thought we were getting an absolute fantastic bit of business for a 21-year-old that you're likely going to have for 10 years. I'm still not ready to throw him under the bus like some might be. Isaac, what's going on?
Brian is in the chat being his usual self.
Of course, I'll go back and read
that. You love Brian. You love Brian.
Of course.
Brian loves you too.
Yeah, legend. Isaac is, as you say, everyone in world football would have snatched their hands up to get him. Ekitike, I think me and you spoke about him before we signed. I was a big fan of Ekitike before we signed him. Didn't know if he'd be the right fit or the perfect solution for us, but I did really like him. The one is Frimpong. Outside of all the other signings, the one is Frimpong, because everyone said he's not a right back. He's never played in the back four. I think he played the back four when he was at Celtic.
But that was a long time ago.
And but look, Celtic are so dominant up the north at that time, and you could take that with a pinch of salt, considering he had the freedom to do what he wanted at Celtic because he was so quick and so powerful and so strong. Even now, looking at him, I know he's not fit and he's picked up injuries, but even when he's been on the pitch, when he's on the pitch, you still look at him and go, not sure if this fella knows if he should be going forward or coming back. I would love to see more of him on the pitch, and I'd love to know he'd be back in 4 weeks, he'd be back in 3 weeks. I know we never get that information, but I'd love to be able to say you'll see Frimpong soon and give him the opportunity. I think you need to start giving these lads, particularly the two fullbacks, a little bit more of an extended period in games of games, I should say. So if you're saying to Kirkes, listen, you have the next 5 games to lock down that position. You'll be taken off in games. We always sort of rotate our fullbacks. We done it last year where Kirkes or where Simicast was coming on for the last 20 and vice versa. I've no problem with that. But we need to start deciding, who's our starting left back, who's our starting right back. Obviously, keeping a right back fit would be a starting point.
There you go.
Yeah, but if a left back is the one that I think we've, as you say, Robertson has heaps of miles in his legs, and I think we've beaten that drum probably one or two too many times. Particularly when you're wheeling him out 5 games in a row, starting, then he's going off to Scotland, and you see yourself, he's not the player he was. I know he's out there for Scotland, captain's armband. He's out there as a figure more so than anything.
My fear for him is he turns into Kieran Tierney on our watch.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
And look, and I love the man. I absolutely love the bones of Andy Robertson. I think he's been a phenomenal. He's been the best Liverpool left back in the last 30 years. 30, 40 years. I think he's that good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Father Time is undefeated. So I think, look, we have to keep a right back fit. I agree. Look, I think Frimpong could be anything. We don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not judging the guy off the space of fucking 4 starts.
You
know what I mean? I wouldn't do that to anyone.
100%.
Isak is the other one you're looking at. You have to give him service. I think Ashley posted in a photo of an image of, it's not a heat map, but it's a pass map of how the build-up was in the first half against Forest and in the second half. It was all over. So you talk about Chiesa, what's his position? Arne Slot has got to take a hell of a lot of stick for the way he makes his changes when he sends on so many forwards and ignores the fact that you need a midfield to win a game.
Yeah.
And he does nobody any favors by doing it. Chiesa when we played PSV last season, played on the right wing and won us a penalty for our first goal by beating a fullback. He lost the ball. He pressed to win it back and he got kicked. And I think Chiesa is a winger. He's not a 9. He's not a false 9. He's a winger. So play him as a winger. If you're going to bring him on, play him as a winger and take Salah off. If in games, if he's been ineffective for an hour, he's not going to be effective for the last 30 minutes, given the form he's shown this season.
Yeah.
Do him a favor and do Chiesa a favor and give him a chance in the position that he knows. All right. I look, we'll chat about tomorrow night. Look, the lineups, knowing what you know now after the press conference, what way would you be looking?
I would go Ali in goal, Kirkes left back, Kanate, Virgil centre halves, Calvin Ramsey right back, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Salah, Gakpo, Isaac. I don't think we can keep going midfielder at right back.
Oh, 100%.
Because I know he likes Szoboszlai and he thinks, but I think we're taking our best midfielder out of there to put him to be right back, where I don't think he's brilliant. I think he had a good game against Arsenal. I think he had a brilliant game against Arsenal, being honest. But I don't think he's been brilliant at fullback since then.
I think he's been fucking poor.
Yeah.
Straight up. I just think he's there. He'll do the best he can. But I think he's not a fullback, and it's clear as day he's not a fullback.
Absolutely.
So look, I agree with you on Ramsey and the fact that he's in the squad. He's available. I think he's available. I'm nearly certain he's available because he should have been on the B list anyway.
Yeah.
So as long as he's available, I'd play him. I would have started Joe Gomez at centre back. Too. The fact that he's receiving injections just to get through training, he's on the bench. Look, and I'd use him off the bench, but I have no problem with Ramsey playing because look, he is a right back. He knows the position, and you may as well. I'd rather play square pegs and square holes because for what you're getting from Szoboszlai further up the pitch, then that's what I would do. I would play Endo with Gravenberch as a pair.
Bad news for you. Ramsey's not in the squad.
Huh?
Ramsey's not
Ramsey's
registered.
not available.
Would you put Curtis Jones at right full? Because I think he's played there and he's been better consistently than what Szoboszlai has. And you get your best midfielder in midfield.
No. I'd start Joe Gomez at right back then. I'd
Would you?
get an hour out of him.
Yeah, I like that logic.
But I would tell him, and I would make the point of do not cross the halfway line.
Yeah.
When we're on the ball, play back three.
Mm.
We're on the ball, play back three. Tell Kirkus to get high and wide. And I'm a big fan of players playing against their old clubs.
So am I.
So I would have definitely played Gakpo irrespective. I've always liked it. I've always been a thing. If I'm ever going to have a bet on a Saturday, I'm looking up and down the leagues. Who's going back to their old stomping ground?
Yeah.
And I'll just stick a cheeky tenner on them, like just to score anytime. You know,
and get the top off to celebrate.
Yeah. Please celebrate.
Yeah.
Although when Cody scored against them last season, he didn't. He scored the penalty and he didn't. But yeah, I agree with the front three, but I would. Yeah, I probably would start Ekitike, but you look to bring Isaac off the bench. I still would play Endo and Gravenberch as you two in midfield.
Yeah.
And I would play Szoboszlai in front of him.
So McAllister drops out.
McAllister drops out because look, you can't play everyone.
Yep.
But I like the fact that Endo has a defensive head on him.
Mm-hmm.
And with the way that they break, with the way that they counter at pace, with the kind of accuracy that they play in their passing, I want someone in front of those two centre-backs who has the first thought is what happens if they win this ball here?
Yeah.
And they're already in the right position because it's just second nature to him to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and look, we know he's not the quickest, but he gets around the pitch, he gets into a tackle. Just don't play him at right back. Right?
Yeah, don't play him at right
Please
back.
don't get it into your thick head, Arna, on the hour thinking I'm going to be clever now and I'm going to take Joe Gomez off and I'm going to put Endo back into right back because it'll all be okay. It fucking won't. They'll get back into the game and they'll score 3 in the last 20 minutes and we'll have a shit show of a post-match. And we don't want to be fucking doing that, Arna. So don't do it to us, please, mate.
I do hope now the atmosphere is good tomorrow because when you look at the Madrid game, the atmosphere was hopping. And I hope you bring that as well. Now, I know Gav's over there and he'll do his part. But I hope, like, as upset as the Liverpool fan base are at the moment, and I suppose they're quite, nervous is probably the term I'll use. I hope they show their support because I think that support can only lift Liverpool players.
And the other factor is, the other question is, I suppose, would you play Salah? Given the fact that I don't want Joe Gomez getting involved too much in the build-up on the right side, I'd be nearly tempted to play Chiesa on his own out in the wing. And look to maybe play Ekitike through the middle and use Szoboszlai as a real floater.
Yeah.
But I would look to try to get Kirkes as high and advanced as possible and use Cody Gakpo almost and try to get Cody Gakpo closer in an inside forward.
Or Ekitike.
Yeah, or get him inside and give Kirkes the space to be able to play out in the wing and put crosses into the box.
Yep.
And I also think that Chiesa being right-footed can put crosses in from wide.
Yeah.
I just think having that outlet on the wing who can take a player on, who can beat a player for pace and put a ball into the box, I think is an option. I don't think he will. I think Salah starts.
So do I.
But at the same time, it's not the be-all and end-all. We have to win every game in the Champions League. We don't. We have to get into the top 8, ideally.
Mm-hmm.
All we have to do is get into the top 24. And I think, hang on, I just wanted to check it now after tonight. I think we're in 10th at the minute, something like that. Yeah, we're 10th on 4 games played with 9 points. Level on points with Real Madrid and Newcastle, who've played 5. As it stands at the minute, Bayern are top with Arsenal on 12. We have Inter to come They're on 12. So look, after tomorrow night, if we win, we're up on 12 points.
You're in a great spot.
We're in a great spot into, with 3 games left to play.
Yeah.
If we get a point, we're in 10th and we're comfortable and we're fine. But you go down, Monaco are in, I look at the sides who are 5 games played. Juventus are in 21st on 6 points.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think you can afford not to take liberties, but I think you can afford to make changes. Not too many, but enough changes to rotate effectively. Give players a break.
Mm-hmm.
McAllister's been away with Argentina. You've had a lot of players, Andy Robertson especially. He's played an awful lot of football. The only ones that I think you're in a position now where they're going to be playing Ironman football for the foreseeable.
2 centre-halves.
Is the 2 centre-halves. And irrespective of the form that Ibn Kanat is in at the minute, he's got to suck it up, Buttercup, and just bite the bullet and get on with it. He's got to work his way through it and find his way of finding form.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no other, in fairness, it's not a case there's no other, there fucking isn't another option. That's it.
Yeah.
Unless you want to see a situation where Ryan Gravenberch starts games at centre back.
I don't want to see that.
No, don't want to be going on that
road. No, thanks. I'm in full agreement with you. Absolute. Yeah. And Canade's been a real disappointment. And I really hope he could just turn it around. It's the same thing I'm saying about 3-0 win. I'd love to set the defenders to just go out there and not give this PSV an inch. It's not that they won't have a shot on target or they won't have a chance, but no panic is what I'd love. Yeah. You can see the corner. It's not the end of the world. You don't, you're not giving the ball away silly inside your own half to their centre forwards who can then attack you 4v3 or 3v4 and that just causes panic and pandemonium. Yeah. I just love a composed performance, particularly out of the 2 centre halves. You can have the bit of madness from your fullbacks. We play that sort of gambling game where you're pushing your fullbacks high who might win a ball or lose a ball or 50-50 challenge here or there. But I'd love the spine to just look extremely solid and go out and get a lovely little 3-0 win. No arguments, no questions asked. Cruise control from 60. Ideal.
Okay, and in the real world, what are you expecting? Because one thing that
5-4.
I love it. I mean, look, the one thing you can say about PSV, they'll play football. Yeah. They'll play out from the back. They'll look to play through the thirds, and they'll press when we're bringing the ball out from they'll look to press to bringing the ball out. For me, look and watch what they do on Virgil. Though I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Till sit on Virgil.
Mm-hmm.
Force Ibn Kanate to be your elbow.
To have the ball, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't mind that. If he's got options to be able to lay it off quickly.
Yeah.
Even if it's to Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez has played fullback for years. He knows the position. He's comfortable enough on the he's actually pretty comfortable on the ball. He's got a decent range of passing. But he's well able to play a simple ball up the line to Salah. Salah has to make that ball stick.
Yeah.
A couple of players to look out for from them. You've mentioned your guy. What's his name?
Dennis Mann.
Watch out for him. Till decent. Vermin really good. Surprised Vermin hasn't ended up in the Premier League already.
Yeah, me too.
I think
was he at Atletico Madrid?
I don't know if he was at Atletico. He's 27 now. He might have been.
Let me double check.
Is it Marcus Jr. or Marius Jr.?
Mario Jr. Is he a fullback?
He's a fullback, but he's been playing in midfield.
Oh, right.
He's been playing as they're lined up. I mean, FootMob have him lined up in a 6-6, but Junior is more now a central midfielder than anything else because they signed guy Salah Eddin. He's a left back. They signed he was a record signing for them. 10 million, I think they paid for him. Even Perisic is also getting a decent amount of games. And the one thing you'd say about Ivan Perisic, he'll be playing on their left.
Yeah.
Now remember him from Spurs. He's equally as good. He's an annoying fucker because he's equally as good on his left and his right. He's
Tricky
got a
customer.
wicked set piece delivery.
Yeah.
But he can deliver cross. He can deliver a cross with either foot, so you can't give someone like him time on the ball. So whoever's playing right back, whether it's Joe Gomez or whoever, is going to have to be out to him. He's not going to go past you for pace.
Bit of feedback there, Kev.
Yeah, between the ears, he's got that. He's got a brilliant football brain. He's a beautiful footballer. In his pub, he was unplayable at times, but he's not in his pub. You know what I mean? So they have threats. They have good footballers, but I fully expect us to get 3 points because I think the type of football they will play, is a focus of mind for us.
Yeah,
and we have, as long as we do our jobs properly, play through the lines properly. Even if it's a case that Curtis Jones plays at right back, stay at right back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Stay at right back. Be disciplined as a right back. You don't have to overlap on Salah. He doesn't want you there anyway. Stay behind him. No, stay behind him and be the option for him to lay it off if you need to. But that's your job.
Yeah.
Leave Kirkes do the overlapping stuff on the other side. But I'll go first with the score prediction. I think there'll be goals in this for us. I'll go 4-1.
Okay.
I'll go with Hugo get 2. Cody will get 1. Salah get 1.
Okay. I will say I agree with you. I think there'll be goals for us in this because I don't think they will change the way they play. I don't think you'll see them sit in the back 10 like some teams do. And I don't think they have the ability to drag us into a battle the way some of the more physical Premier League teams do. So I'm going to go for 4-0. And I would go for Salah 1, Isak 1, Gakpo 2.
Cool. Well, Dermot makes a point there. He disagrees our fullbacks should have to attack. Ordinarily, I would say if you were playing your normal fullbacks, I think, fair enough. They know their game inside out. But if you're playing a midfielder at fullback, I want him primarily to be a defender first.
Just do his job at right back.
Just do your job at right back.
If you have an opportunity to attack and everything's going well, by all means, play that game. But, let's worry about defending first and we'll build off that.
Yeah. But Oz Kopite's gone 3-2, Szoboszlai, Ekitike, Virgil.
I don't know if my heart can take that.
Well, Walrus has gone 2-0 PSV, but seems he isn't giving goal scorers for PSV.
So it doesn't count?
Doesn't count. No, them's the rules. And we're just making out the rules as we go along. So,
we don't like it, we kick it off.
All right, Bonkers has gone Ekitike and Jones 2-1 Liverpool.
Nice.
Tommy, what's he saying there? Gakpo pulling out of tackles again. Pulled out a 1, but, it is what it is. I honestly think we're Cody Gakpo tomorrow night. Like I said, love players playing against their old sides. They always go into this with a point to prove. I kind of always, I'd be the same with any player, no matter who you're playing. I hate it going the other way as well. I hate seeing like Harry Wilson playing for Fulham against us because I know he's got a left foot that can bang one in outside the box.
Sterling
would be one as well, yeah.
Heartbreaking when you come up against you.
Yeah. Well, who's it? I haven't got a score line, but Isak bagging a hat trick. I'm here for it, Mick. I'm here for it all day long.
And a 7-0 win. Love it,
Mick. No, look, I think there's goals in it. I think there's goals in it, and I think they're a good footballing side, which is ideal for us.
Absolutely.
They'll carry a threat. The players will be well aware of the threat. There's enough Dutch players in our squad to make sure that everyone else knows that they carry a threat.
Yeah.
And Arne Slot will not want to lose after that press conference today.
No, absolutely.
He really fucking won't.
He knew what they were doing with the media there. He knew the game they were going to play. And even named the newspaper that he said would slander him.
Well, Dermot, I'd take any win with Mo getting in the goals fucking right. I would love nothing more than Mo Salah to bang a couple. Or to get a couple of assists. Just
be involved.
Affect the game. The game in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
Would be massive. I'd take that all day long. What's this one there? Isak hat trick in a 4-3 loss probably. You're right. Do you know what? it's about what time is it over there at the minute? Go back to work. You know, you sat here watching us on your tea break. Go back to work. Honest to God, you can't get the staff these days.
Yeah, you tell him.
But look, it's crazy. I mean, with the run of form that we're in at the minute, I'm still optimistic about us getting away.
Yeah, me too.
The reality is, I agree with Dermot. I'll take any kind of win. I don't care. I don't care how it looks. I don't think this is the kind of game where we're going to be backs to the wall defending for our lives and we hit a side in a break. I don't think it's going to be that. I just think that it's going to be one of those games that we'll probably see maybe 50-55% possession of the ball. They'll have meaningful possession. They'll have chances. But it's just a case of, can we work their keeper enough? You know, it's the one thing I think that's really... I've always been okay right the way through the season. Even when we've lost games, it's been late goals in it, but we've had chances to win games.
Yeah.
The Forest one threw me back because we had one real chance at the start, and after we conceded, we never looked like scoring, and that worries me more than anything. I'll take a game where we force our keeper to have an absolute worldie and we lose.
Yeah.
I won't like it, but I'll take it.
Yeah, 100%.
I can take that kind of loss.
Yeah.
I hate games where you look at it and you're like, you could throw the kitchen sink at this and it's just not going to happen. And that drives me mad more than anything.
Yeah. This game would surprise me if it was quite similar to the Frankfurt game, where Frankfurt fancied themselves a bit as well, had a bit of a go, but inevitably came up short because of the quality of the squads. Now, I know our squad's probably a little bit thinner now than what it was then, but even still, like, the attacking prowess we have out there, Gakpo, Isaac, Ekitike, Salah, Chiesa, Szoboszlai, like, there's not one player in their squad that you could even compare to them. So I'd just love us to go out and show that.
Well, that's a thing, right? Somebody LFC. If we concede first, I can't see us coming back. We have to be in a game where we concede and we come back.
Yeah.
We have to get into that to get out of it.
Yeah.
And it's only going to happen through the players working for it. And it's going to come down to that. It's literally going to come down to the player. Arne Slot can only affect the game from the bench when he makes changes.
Yeah.
Up until he makes changes, it's the players who are on the pitch can affect their game, can affect their performance. And they have to take responsibility. If we go behind, and look, there's every chance tomorrow night. I've watched enough highlights of this slot this season in Europe to see that they create chances.
Yeah.
There's every chance that we go behind tomorrow night. We're going to have to find balls, courage, discipline, just guts to fight back and get back into a game. You know, I mean...
It would just be encouraging to see that character from us.
Yeah, have to see it.
Yeah.
We have to get back, and you're going to need it. You're going to need it.
I hope it's in 10 games' time we see it, to be honest with you. I hope we win every game, and in 10 games' time we can see it and have to go for it with a bit of form behind us. But again, I'm with you. I'd take a 2-1 win with a 91st and a 92nd minute winner at this stage.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit. I just want to see a win.
Same.
Ideally, I want to see a performance, but I want to see a win. I want to see players coming off the game tomorrow night with a chest out, knowing that they've put in a performance.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that they've done their job. And I think, do you know what? I think your point about Frankfurt is a really good one. Going into the Frankfurt game, we're all looking at it thinking, it's a home, you know, away from home. They're a good side at home. They score plenty of goals. They create chances to play lovely football, but they're weak at set pieces. And even in all of the score predictions that you put in, I put in, everyone else in the chat put in, none of us went for a set piece goal.
No.
Ashley is clean sheet, please. Agree. Ashley, love a set piece. You know how much I love a set piece. Or, sorry, a clean sheet, but I love a set piece as well.
Yeah.
So, in the Champions League, we do score from set pieces. You know, and we have been scoring from set pieces. There's no reason, especially against this law. Watch McTominay score for Napoli against them in the 6-2 loss. And I mean, McTominay is a bit of a unique freak, really. He's 6'4" and he's really good and powerful in the air. But when he scored, he looked so much bigger than them.
Yeah.
You know, and we've got size and physicality in our own box to clear headers. So we should have it in the opposing box. And I agree with you. Get Dominic Szoboszlai whipping crosses in left and right, in swingers and out swingers, and just get ahead on it. That's all you.
Yeah.
And then one thing I suppose you can look at with Szoboszlai, you don't have to do anything but put your head on it and point it in the right direction. That's all you have to do. You don't
he puts
have
enough pace on them for you.
Exactly. He puts the pace on the ball. All you have to do is get there. Oh, sorry. Ashley did say a Virgil header.
Love it.
And Ozcop, I had Virgil. And that's a set piece. Okay, fair enough.
Perfect.
But we can hope. That's all we can hope for
This
is a win, a performance, and ideally.
And all of Anfield applauding the lads off.
Exactly. Nobody fucking leaving and 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
As understandable as that was the other day. And I get it, but it's, look, just don't. You know what I mean? Just don't. You know, stay, applaud them off. Even if it's shite, applaud them off, because it's not that they're not trying. You know, and I don't believe that for a second. That even against Forest, it wasn't that they weren't trying. It was just too much fucking crazy on the pitch.
Yeah.
At the end of it, that they didn't know what the fuck to do. But anyway, listen, I'm gonna head off. I forgot to put this back up. I'm a terrible person. That there's the QR code for Patreon.
It's great crack.
It is.
It's fantastic buzz at the moment.
It is a good crack.
We're having great crack in it.
It is. The Patreon is brilliant laugh because you can do stuff on Patreon and chat about stuff on Patreon that you can't do on YouTube for obvious reasons. But it's the price of a pint. It's the price of a pint a month. It does help the channel out massively. So if you're short on something to buy a Liverpool fan for a present for Christmas, give them that for a month. And if they like it, tell them to stick with it. If they don't, knock it on the head. So what? It's no big deal. But give it a lash. See what you think. And there's going to be more stuff coming up over the next few weeks. But we'll be back tomorrow night with a reaction to whatever unfolds at Anfield tomorrow night. Dylan, anything else you want to add?
No, I enjoyed that chat.
You're all good.
I'm more optimistic going into the game now, and hopefully we're positive tomorrow.
It's amazing how
I could be in here singing tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. This is what you're not going to want to miss this.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, thanks to Dylan. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Ashley, safe flight. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. All right. All the best. Slán.